Well, it was a race full of highlights right from the start. Wet conditions but drying, but everybody choosing to go out on wet tyres. It led to Shane Byrne getting an early lead and Jakob Schmerz going in pursuit. Checker was in fourth place just behind Spies, and everybody then tried to stay steady. Shane Byrne continued to pull away at the front and pulled away from Schmerz. Chianari was the first man out. And then things started to settle down a little bit, but then it started to dry. And conditions then became a question of whether you would come in or not. The first man in, Nakano, and the others would try and brave it out. But the sun came out and the track started drying. Byrne was brave, Byrne was fast, but the others were catching. Fabrizio was quick. Spies and Fabrizio got into their own battle. And it wasn't long before the sun was out fully, and then we really did have problems. Hager definitely struggling, and he was quickly overtaken by both Lavia and Zaus, and not been an easy day for him. All sorts of shenanigans going on. Lavia hacking and Haslam all together and fighting hard. Hacking at one point all the way up to third place. Haslam, likewise, usually rebels in these conditions, didn't seem to this afternoon, had a spill in the warm-up. Jakob Schmerz continued pushing hard in second place, and Byrne continued at the front. Meanwhile, Checker was getting quicker and quicker. Got past Jakob Schmerz, as you can see there. Byrne's lead was strong, but he knew eventually he'd have to come in. Finally, this was the Spies moment, and this really was the winning of the race. Very quick changeover for Ben Spies, almost taking out his mechanic. But Shane Byrne continued, and a nice little bit of side saddle from Fabrizio. Nice style. And meanwhile, Spies just taking it to them, and the Texas Terror, just that. And Zaus at one point looked as though he might take BMW to a famous victory, but he stayed out on the wets. In fact, he even had a ride through, and it wasn't long before Spies was past Byrne and in pursuit of Zaus. And when he did get past Zaus, it was rather risky, but he didn't leave him standing for nothing. Yeah, Zaus was literally standing there like a sitting duck, and sure enough, he would come in eventually. Through went Spies. There was the move. Oof, on the red line. Wouldn't do it myself. Don't try it at home. Meanwhile, Shane Byrne would continue to circulate. And remember, Shane's had nothing to smile about, the British champion, finally getting onto the podium. Hager would continue to struggle and going backwards again. In the end, he would improve to fifth place. Important points for him. But once again, it's Massimo kissing his mechanics, and anybody who'll hug him, because it's Massimo Marigali and the Yamaha team who take victory. Fabrizio, amazingly, just holds off Schmerz for the podium.